All right. Anime question of the week. You ready?
I think I
You
am.
ready?
I don't like the
You
way
ready?
you pause,
All
but
right.
shoot.
It's an interesting question.
Oh,
It's
interesting
another
question.
would you rather, right? But this one takes a little bit of thought. Okay.
Okay.
So would you rather be in the
Mm.
last anime you watched, full episode? I know we watch a lot of clips and we go on YouTube and watch things, but like full episode, that anime, would you rather be in that anime, or would you rather be in an anime of your choosing, but the main villain of the story is after you, and why?
Okay. An anime of my choosing. So first off, the last anime I watched, I'm pretty sure it was My Hero Academia. I'm pretty sure
Okay.
that's the last one I was watching last night. I haven't watched anything
Okay.
today. So
Okay.
My Hero Academia,
Okay.
but the main villain is not after me.
No.
Um,
Just you're just you could be a civilian, you could have a quirk. I mean, really it's random, but
it's
that's
just
not the point.
random. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, yeah, it's just random.
Like it's not like oh I get to be the main hero or anything like that.
Who
Or
knows? Who
and
knows?
yeah, it's completely random. Or anime of my choice.
But they're
But the
being
main
hunted by the
villain
villain.
is after you, so it would clearly have to be a show that has a main villain. I can't just choose a slice of life and be like, oh, the chef down the road, he has it out for
Yeah.
me. He's trying to
Hey,
have his business better than mine.
rent is due. That's the enemy.
The rent is the enemy. That's too real life. I don't like
What's
that.
your what would be the name of that anime? Be like, I've been isekai'd, but there is no main villain, just the rent.
But they
Another
want
worldly adventure with the rent.
they want the rent on the 25th instead of the first. I don't like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But no, seriously, I can't think of like because I'm thinking just like shonen stuff.
Yeah.
Signing can get pretty gruesome. I don't want to be in any of those. But
No.
just shonen stuff like the main villain being after you. If I'm not the main character, I'm in
Yeah.
a situation I don't want to be in. But My Hero Academia, where they are currently in the anime, everyone's in a situation. I could be a random person. I could be in a random country. I don't have to be in Japan.
Exactly, because here's the thing. Well, so, and I was gonna say, I think that you can only be either in the United States or Japan because
Mm,
they've announced the United States before
mm.
with
Stars and
uh
Stripes.
Stars and Stripes. Yeah, excuse me, Stars and Stripes. So that makes it relevant in the show. If they
Yeah.
never went anywhere outside of the United States or outside of Japan, then it would have to be Japan.
Yeah,
So
well,
like,
now they're starting to visit other countries for
yeah, yeah, yeah.
reactions, but just say I was in the United States, and I'll probably be in a good position. So honestly, because with
Yeah,
the
United
terror
States
that's
might have some
happening,
Detroit with quirks,
because of the
sir.
terror that's happening, I might choose My Hero Academia, only
Okay.
because I can't think of a shonen show where I would want the main villain after me, and I'm not the main character. Like I can't immediately think of a shonen show like that. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like I would have
Yeah.
to be either main character or cast, but it's random. It's not a oh
So
you could just choose the show, but you would be a
yeah,
part of the main character cast. If it was that, then yeah, I would choose probably like One Piece. Like the world government's after the Straw Hats, but I get to be on the Straw Hats like on their crew, so it's okay. We know
yeah.
the main villains after us, but if it doesn't say that explicitly, then nah, I'm gonna go with My Hero Academia, and hopefully I end up being just some random civilian in America.
So I'm not gonna be in the last anime I watched
What did
at
you
all.
watch last?
So the last anime I watched was Terminator Zero, and the
Thought you were
last
gonna say I was
episode I
watching
was
Attack on
on
Titan.
was Skynet launching the nuclear bombs. So no thanks.
No, thank you.
Not unless I'm in Japan, then I'd kind of be safe, but I'd probably die because there's a whole idea, and I'm not really gonna ruin Terminator Zero. We're gonna talk about that here in a minute with our
Mm,
news, but um like people in Japan was saved essentially
mm,
by another AI, but this AI wants to enslave humans to fight against Skynet because they're at war. And
mm.
it's a whole, yeah, it's, yeah.
Story. We got
So I'd
story.
be out
Okay.
there. I'd be, yeah. Anyways, so I would not be in Terminator.
So,
Something that immediately came to mind, and I was trying to think of animes that I could probably body the person, like the villain is a human. You know what I'm saying? Like not
mm.
doesn't have powers. Obviously, they have normal anime feats, which we would too. We could still train. We can still learn how to sword fight or throw an axe, spear. Like we can still
Let me
learn
hear
that
this
stuff.
show then. Let me hear
But
where you think you can just train and
I
be there.
I would be in the ranking of kings. The Ranking of
I haven't
Kings is
watched
the
it. Okay.
show with the little boy. The main villain is a guy named like Okura. He's a part of the royal family. He's a good swordsman. I wouldn't
Mm.
classify him as a master swordsman, but he's pretty good with swords play. He's the one that's trying to destroy his family, like the I forgot what the main character's name is, but trying to destroy his royal family, trying to destroy his family, kill him, sends like people after him, like shit like that. So
Yeah.
if I were to stand a chance and I could train and fight and like learn how to use swordsmanship, whatever it is, I would probably be in Ranking of Kings.
I mean,
That
but
was
if
like
he's
for some reason that was the first anime that came to mind where the villain is just like a normal asshole,
yeah,
like just another rich white asshole.
is the concept of like assassination not a thing in this show? Like
It
he's
is.
in the
I mean,
royal
yeah.
family.
There's like how they do it is shonen esque, where it's like a vagabond, like it's like a I'm attacking your cart, ha, like I'm trying,
Mm.
I came to kill you,
Ah,
it's not like shadow, like
yeah,
shadow weird shadows are moving and then they come up with a knife behind you.
yeah.
It's like there are powers in it. Like our boy is like powerful as fuck. There's like beast people who can literally use swords like anything. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So but so far like the assassination attempts have more been like a dude in a hood as it's like a fucking it's like a side quest in an MMORPG. A man
Mm.
in a hood has attacked your caravan. Press A to attack, press B
Yeah.
to evade. You know what I'm saying? Like so I could buy
I think you probably have a better
I
chance.
could piece up a nigga in with a knife under a hood in 96-degree weather. Serious hot.
Robot overlord
Yeah.
or a nigga with a sword.
Yeah.
I think you're right. Okay, I'm gonna go with regular cakes too.
Nigga with a sword.
I
You
haven't
know what I'm
seen the
saying?
show, so unfortunately I can't use that one. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
It's
my hero
yeah.
for my
When
last
it's
show watch.
devil is a part timer, there's really no back. Well, I guess like the mages are kind
The
of bad.
angels, remember the angels? They show up and
Angels, yeah,
murk
yeah,
niggas for no reason. Like
yeah.
I want that kid.
Ranking of Kings. I'm good. Ranking of Kings. Yeah, Ranking of Kings.
That was
All
a
right.
loaded question. You already had a good one.
Honestly, just like because I honestly like just sitting here, I was still thinking like what I choose like
Mm,
because then my second option was gonna be Zombie 100 because those are just zombies. They're coming after you anyways. Like
mm.
you're that's the point of the show. Everybody's getting fucked up.
I mean, with
Like that's the
the
villain.
last
That's the villain.
episode or the last few episodes with the human guy sticking the
He
zombies
died
on
though.
them.
He died.
Yeah, I mean that was some bullshit how he managed to like, oh, I thought the zombies got him, but then oh, he's a zombie now. But I mean,
Oh, I
if he
would
just showed up at your little spot with a whole bunch of zombies, that might be a
I'd,
situation.
I'd be all right.
I think you're too
I'd be all
ready
right.
for the zombie apocalypse. That's why you say that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna turn my camera, but I'd
I'll
be
be,
all right.
I'll be good.
I'd be all right. Yeah,
All right,
you know,
cut,
don't want to get don't
cut.
want to get yeah, don't want to get demonetized on
Yeah,
YouTube. We
demonetized.
haven't
Don't
been
need to be
demonetized yet.
banned from YouTube.
Anyways, Otaku Octagon, welcome back to another
My family,
episode. My
thank
family,
you.
my family, welcome.
My loved ones, you have showed us. You have let us know you love and appreciate us. Thank you.
Otaku. All right. Anyways, so today we are going to be doing something a little special. We hit a benchmark for us, and I know it's probably a little bit different than some people see, like other YouTubers or whatever it is, but every progression for us is something that we love to see and something that we want to celebrate. And so, around every time we get 100 subscribers, like every 100 subscribers, we like to do just kind of like a special clip. And we haven't really done it in the past because we are now reaching a different milestone.
Hmm.
But we did just recently go over 300 subscribers. That's crazy. I don't even know 300 people. So thank you
Thank you.
very much. So when you start getting the amount of subscribers, I remember when we started with like what 20 from the people we knew.
Hmm.
Like we had 20
Our
subscribers. When you
friends and
start,
family. Shout out
yeah,
to
you know
friends
what
and
I'm saying.
family.
When you start getting subscribers that you don't know or people that you like, more people that you know, it's a good feeling that you pass 100th mark. So today we are going to be covering our each of us have a top favorite moment in anime where it was a 300s. No, we're not going to do top 300 favorite fights. Imagine just sitting here till 2 o'clock in the
I
morning.
mean, some fights on
Um,
there though. Let's be real.
there's some fights,
That's why
but
we had to bring the anime because there's some
yeah,
fights on
yeah.
300.
But we're gonna do our top favorite like 300 style moment fights. So
Hmm.
to give an example, when there's one against many, or they fight to the death, or it's just like Like this person gives their all into a fight against, like it's like a battle
Mm-hmm.
essentially. I'd say 1v1s don't really count because it's not, there wasn't really 1v1s. It was like a small group against many or one person against many. And
Depends
so
on
we're
the
gonna,
1v1.
it might depend on the 1v1,
We'll
but
see.
it's a very niche subject there. So we're going to be covering that. But first, please like, subscribe, uh, just leave a comment down below. We want to get to that 400th mark yet next, so
400.
we can do our 400 style fights. I don't. That's not a movie. I don't know. We're gonna do something for
We're gonna do
400.
something.
All right. We're gonna do something for 400. We're still on the road to 1,000. We're closing in over half a year already, and we're still trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? So please like, subscribe. Let us know down in the comments what you want to see, what you would like out of the channel, things like that. We want to take that criticism on so we can continue to grow our community. All right. So hopping into the news of today, as always, get into that news. So 5 years ago today, or was it yesterday? It might have been yesterday. Oda said One Piece was going to end
It
in
was
five
yesterday.
years.
It was yesterday.
Yesterday.
On the 31st, 5 years ago. Oh
So
man.
is today? Are we going by leap year,
We're
or is it?
we're -1 now. We're day -1.
Hmm, like I don't understand. Are we so? All right. So is Oda today going to be like, hey, in 10 years, you never know.
No, I find that hella funny because I actually brought that up to my wife last night. I said, "Hey, you remember 5 years ago when Otis said that One Piece will be over, we'll be done?" And I was like, "Fuck that! Please
Yeah,
don't do that." And look at us today. I don't even see us ending in 5 years, even from today's date.
yeah. I don't either. To be
The
honest,
One Piece
you
is
know what's
forever.
fun? Side story that's kind of funny. So I was at the American Eagle. They only have the stretchy jeans that I like, right? It'll tie into this, I promise. And I was in. Look, I got
Stretchy
junk in my
jeans.
truck.
That's where you caught me up.
Yeah, I like my flex jeans, all right? Because so anyways, I was there shopping for clothes, right?
Mm.
And my wife's like, "Hey, do you like this?" And she pulls up a outfit like for her. And I was like, "What is it?" And she was like, "It's the One Piece." Or she was like, "It's a One Piece." And I was like, "Nuh-uh, Luffy hasn't found it yet." And some dude next to me started dying. He started dying.
That's
And I just
awesome.
look at him and he was like, ah, ah.
Ah. No, that reminds me of the videos where they're like, somebody will say something like a spouse, girlfriend, whatever, and they're like, "Oh, do you like that? Like this One Piece?" And then the husband will turn around and be like, "One Piece," dun, 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 and put on his straw hat. One Piece, like,
You remember you were in the, I
uh,
don't know, I think you were in the store over when we went to the mall together, all four of us. I think, oh, me and Sarah walked into a store and I thought you were behind me, but she showed me a shirt and it was a Death Note shirt. And I was like loud as fuck in the store. I was like, "What do you think of that, El? This is my perfect victory.
yeah,
That's
you told
right.
me about that.
I win." And the people like all around were just like, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm one of those.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
you're a psycho.
Not, not,
You're one of
not,
those.
not bad. I like making scenes in the stores. Anyways, but yeah. So we're not ending in another 5 years. Oda, you lied to us. Um, next
A
on the
beautiful
docket. So
lie.
JJK is ending this month. We talked about it before. We talked about it last or the last video and the video before that when it was ending. I'm just counting down the date. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
just ticking it out. Whenever it comes out and they're like, One Piece ends in a month. One Piece ends this month. One Piece ends this week. One Piece ends today. Like or not One Piece, JJK. Excuse me. We're just talking about One Piece. Got One Piece on the brain.
Mm-hmm.
JJK ends today. I'm just gonna put it in the news so everybody knows. Look.
Like I said
And
last time, I'm truly not. I'm not surprised. Like when they
yeah,
announced that, hey, this is the final arc. I'm like, aren't we at the end of this arc? So for them to be like, oh, we now have four
yeah,
chapters left for the end of JJK. I'm like,
yeah.
okay,
Okay.
like how are we
Okay.
going to end it though? So you know me, I dip and dabble in spoilers.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I
No,
kind of
no,
know
I
where
get you.
we are now. So it's like, okay,
Same,
all
same, same,
right,
same.
let's clean it up pretty. That's all I
Right,
ask.
right. On the same subject of Jujutsu Kaisen, there's a movie that's been announced for
I
2025.
heard about that.
So there's a movie coming out for that. There's not a lot of big news on it, but you should be expecting a movie around 2025. I'm assuming it's going to be like beginning of the year type shit. It
It,
doesn't take them very long to make these
it
movies.
better be fire.
On in an unrelated news, many popular anime piracy sites have been shut down permanently.
Hey,
Is it
the
permanent?
best is still standing though. And no, it's not permanent. They do this shit all the time. Like
Is
even
it permanent?
sites that I
They do it.
use, they
Yeah.
shut down for a few days. They make a new ones, and then like a week later, they're up again. Like
Yeah,
what are we
they
doing?
they get this little itch. I guarantee you, their cyber IT department gets this little itch, and they're just like, "All right, today we're just gonna clean house, and then we'll same time next year." Yeah, they do it, and they're just like, "All right, same time next year." Like, you're not stopping anything. This is busy work.
The
They're
age
giving
of
their.
piracy will never end. Just know that. It just will never end. The
I
great
don't have.
pirate age
I,
began
I don't have a straw hat. I should realize
when
that.
technology began. My strides over there. When
I need to
technology
get.
began, the great age of piracy began, and it will never end. The One Piece
Sail the
is
high seas.
real.
Sail the high seas. Anyways, all right. Kishimoto has
Hmm.
teased a potential new manga. What is it? You pray tell?
I've been seeing these photos, and I just keep seeing niggas with Sharingans.
Same.
And if they make another Naruto, I don't want to hear it, bro.
I didn't want them to make a second.
What you made? They made a second.
What you mean?
What second?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true. Yeah.
But
Never mind. I
yeah,
don't want
man.
them to make these shitty spin-offs.
He made a spinoff before though.
He
The
did.
Space Dandy one. What was it called?
I forgot.
It was like Ninjas in Space. I just don't remember the name of it. But
Something like that.
apparently,
It was like a little.
yeah, it didn't do good. Like
Mm-mm.
it had a lot of steam in the beginning. The art, they were like, oh, basically Ninjas in Space, and it just lost all its steam by
Did you
like
say
twenty
ninjas in Paris?
chapters. No, Ninjas in Space. But like 20, 30 chapters in, I think they made like a volume or two, but then it was announced that they were canceling it. So
It fizzled out.
please,
Especially in
please,
the age of Naruto, like you're just like,
yeah, like we
stick to
have
what you know.
ninjas. Like Boruto is still playing right now. If it's about ninjas
Who?
anywhere, if it's about ninjas anywhere, I don't want to hear it. Like they're not going to be able to beat their current product.
Yeah, no, they're really not. Especially when you have your highest grossing product out right now.
Hmm,
Stop with the sideshows.
do
We
something
don't need
different.
sideshows. In Naruto news going forward, the live action script has been completed. This is the live action that is going to be directed by the Shang-Chi
Hmm.
director. I think his name is Nathan something. I forgot what his name was. But the Shang-Chi director, which we talked about, Shang-Chi was actually a very underrated Marvel movie. A lot of people like sleep on it. Not really
I
talk
haven't even
bad
seen
about
it,
it.
bro.
It's a good movie.
Was it?
You got Disney Plus,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
Yeah,
pay for
yeah.
everything
So I check whenever you get a chance to just watch a movie or something, check it out. Like it's very underrated. It's not that people hate on it.
mm,
It's just people just don't recognize it.
because it's not a big
So
Avenger,
it's not a big Avenger, but it's a pretty baller movie.
bro.
So
I don't
it's
care
not
who
bad.
produces it. I'm not.
Look,
They're not gonna do well. Like, what are we? Who are we trying to fool? Stop kidding yourself. I know you want it to be good.
if there's a I already told you this before,
It's
dude.
not.
If there's a chance it could flop, I don't want it. I don't want
Hey,
this stain on my Naruto name.
hey,
You know what I'm
Ryan
saying?
Reynolds is he's gonna be casted as Naruto.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Kakashi.
I'm actually for that. Yo, Ryan Reynolds would body Kakashi
Kakashi.
Sensei.
That'd be lit.
Oh, what? That'd be as
What's his name from
Hugh Jackman gonna be Sasuke or what?
no, dude, Tobey Maguire. No, the dude who
Oh,
plays Spider Man currently, the kid. He's gonna be Naruto.
oh, Tom Holland.
Yeah, Tom
Yeah,
Holland's gonna be Naruto,
I just
and his girlfriend, she's gonna be Sakura.
he's a Disney director. He has the funds, so he better make this shit
This is this is
good.
Marvel. Like
I
this is
swear to God,
Disney.
bro. I swear to
All
God,
of
they
this, they
have the
just
funds.
Disney. They just recast niggas over and over again. So
They
yeah,
have
Tom
the
Holland,
funds.
Naruto.
Wait, is Robert Downey Jr. gonna come out as like Jiraiya Sensei, just like
No,
on stage
he's
and he
gonna be
pulls a mask? And it's
Obito.
like
He's gonna be Obito because he's gonna take the
Robert Downey Jr.
yeah, he's gonna take the mask off. Like I'm Robert Downey
Oh,
Jr.
oh,
Guys,
yeah,
the
no
whole
shit.
time.
The whole time, I'm just a dude disguised as another
I
dude
thought
playing
you
another
was
dude.
Madara. No.
No, I'm not Madara. I am Madara actually, but I'm actually Robert Downey Jr.
Yo, it's gonna
Anyway,
be lit, bro.
to wrap this up, speaking of Terminator Zero, Terminator Zero. Now, some prefaces.
Uh,
Terminator Zero airs. It aired with a 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is rare.
hmm,
However, I will preface this by saying I do not trust Rotten Tomatoes. Rotten Tomatoes is a scam. It is corrupt. I don't trust them. But
mhm.
I will say it is a feat in itself to get anywhere above a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes. That is a
Yeah, I don't say that.
canonic feat. So good for
Yeah.
you, Terminator Zero. I did finish it, and we'll cover it when we do our end season review.
Mm. Are we gonna do it? Should it be in an
Masterpiece.
end series review or should it be like its own episode though? Because it didn't come out in the beginning and it ended before
Mm,
it ended.
it's not enough to make its own episode,
How many
personally.
episodes?
Eight,
8 episodes?
25 minutes a piece. Yeah.
Hmm. Let's
It's
see.
not enough.
Let me
It's not
binge it.
enough. Yeah, you binge it.
Let
But
me binge
to me, it's not enough. But I will say it is a master class
it. Hmm.
in capturing just the science fiction and the mind fuck of Terminator.
Would
Um,
you say you would have to have a prior knowledge and understanding of Terminator to fully appreciate the anime?
yes. So yes and no.
Hmm.
So the anime in itself, end up figuring out what is going on, right?
Hmm.
But they do already start the show off. So like, and I'm not spoiling anything really. It's kind of how they start a lot of their movies, where they start in the future,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then the movie is happening in the past, like type shit.
Hmm.
But it already comes out with an expectation that you know what Judgment Day is and what Skynet is.
Okay. Okay. We'll talk about it.
You
I'm
know,
looking
you
forward
know.
to this. Like we've been looking forward to it ever since they said it was coming
Oh
out.
yeah,
I'll binge it real quick.
absolutely, absolutely. That wraps it up for our news, everybody. Let's roll in the video. Okay, top 300 style moments in anime.
All right.
Top 300 moment style anime. Dealer's choice. Dealer's choice. I want you. I
You want
want you
me?
to.
You want me to start
I
it
want you,
off?
yeah, give me one. Give me your top. Your number five.
Um.
Give me number five.
Hey, I got like six of them, but
Six.
five. I'm gonna
Five.
start
Number
off
five.
with oldie but a goodie. So we all know Dragon Ball Z. We all know Dragon Ball. I don't need to explain Dragon Ball Z, but after let's say the Frieza saga, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
they came out with a movie about
Hmm.
Bardock, Goku's father.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
this 300 moment, we're just gonna go back to the past before
Okay.
or when Goku was born, and Bardock realized finally that Frieza was the bad guy. So Frieza, up to this point, he essentially controlled the universe. He had enslaved the Saiyans,
Hmm.
but told them like, "Hey, you're working for me. You get power, strength, all these things. Just continue to work for me." But in
Hmm.
reality, they were all enslaved. He was forcing them
Absolutely.
to destroy other planets, in his name, and to control the to basically take over the universe. Capture different planets. Neither here or there. But eventually the Saiyans kind of figured it out, realized that Frieza only considered them to be monkeys. We've all heard the saying, you fucking monkeys. I'm pretty sure they don't say fucking. But he calls them monkey because he felt
Look.
like they were
Yeah.
below him.
Look,
So,
Broly, niggas is wildin'. That's my favorite meme to use.
oh, okay. Because you didn't say that.
Look,
But
Broly, niggas is
But
wildin'.
essentially, when they found out that Frieza's actually the bad guy, he doesn't have any
Hmm.
good intention with us. Frieza killed King Vegeta because it was
Hmm.
Planet Vegeta. He killed King Vegeta, and then he also killed his royal guard. And then Frieza was like, "All right, I'm about to head off the planet." He left the orbit system, but at this point, Bardock showed up, flew into outer space, wrecked all of his soldiers one by one. They all crowded, tried to jump onto him. He kicked them all off of him, and he's racing towards Frieza. Why is this the 300 moment? One against many. But then at the end of the day, Frieza had just one finger, created an energy blast, sent it down, and killed not just Bardock, but the whole planet Vegeta.
Yeah.
Bardock was a G.
Yeah.
And honestly,
That's
if Bardock
yeah.
had more
That's
time
main.
to get Super Saiyan, maybe he would have been able to
Oh yeah.
give Frieza a run for his money. But
Bardock main character energy.
yeah. So even in that moment, because I watched the clip multiple times, freaking he like, hey, I know even though I'm losing to you right now, I know my son Goku, he's gonna come back and
Yeah.
he's gonna be the one who destroys you, who's gonna beat your ass. So it kind of reminded me, like even in Leonidas's last moments, he knew
Right.
that because he had sent that guy back, he knew that eventually they were going to overcome. So that
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
that was my 300
Eventually.
moment. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Okay. So my number five.
Okay.
And the only reason why this is number five, not that the anime itself is a number five, but because it's kind of a cheat, but not really.
Mm.
So this is going to be Kirito versus the main villain at the end of Alicization Underworld. So We all know Sword Art
Okay.
Online had its ups, its downs, and then it shot back up again, right?
You didn't have
So
to say it. We all know.
at the end of Alicization Underworld, Kirito has been paralyzed the whole time. He's not been able to move, speak, talk, like fight, nothing. He's been in that wheelchair the entire moment. At the end of this show, uh, Japan servers, U.S. servers, all these servers in the world are sending in thousands and millions of players in there to kill the NPCs. And if you're listening to audio, NPCs, I'm doing air quotes, in that world as if it was like a free beta video game. They're tricking millions of people across the planet into thinking that this server, this game they're going into, they're just killing NPCs and they're getting rewarded for it. But in actuality, what we find out during the actual season is that these people aren't NPCs. These people have their own souls. This is like its own world pretty much created inside this computer. And so there's millions of these like just basic soldiers in like armor, like knights armor, just fucking up our main characters and their armies, so on and so forth. At the end of it, once everybody is starting to get broken down, I mean, to be honest, like the Kirito party, it takes one to defeat 100, but these guys are spawning in. Like they're getting sent back to the lobby, and then they're coming right back in. So they're just spawning and spawning and spawning, and as they're fighting. So my first 300 moment is their tiny group versus all those soldiers throughout the whole fight. I mean, the
Mm,
fight's like 2.5 episodes long,
yeah.
so it's that's my first 300 moment is that them just holding the line like of waves after wave after wave
Mm,
of these soldiers. My second one is the moment Kirito wakes up when all his people are about to die, his boo thing Asuna is about to die. He finally awakens, comes out of his chair, and once like they're really about to get overwhelmed, all of a sudden you just see this ice magic just completely freeze every bit of those millions of soldiers, and it starts freezing our main villain as well. And he's just like, "What the hell?" And he breaks out of it, and then all those soldiers are just frozen. And I think they even show a couple clips where the people who are playing the video games like they like pull their nerve gear off. They're like, "Damn it!" And it says like "end connection, end failed" or whatever. So Kirito pretty
mm,
much just kicked him. He kicked him out of the lobby,
yeah.
and he like comes up and he finally fights the dude, the main bad guy, 1v1, kicks his ass, you know, so on and so forth. So that's my number five. And I say cheating because like the main point is like Kirito versus all of them, but he just froze them all and kicked them out of the server.
Yeah.
So it's not really like that much. But the main, I guess, the saving grace would be like them just themselves in that tiny group, just like bodying the waves after waves of these bad guys. And then kind of nice little callback is like a couple of those people who were joining the servers to kill them
Mm,
started realizing like these people are a little too real to be fucking NPCs. Like
yeah.
something going on here, and then they end up like joining them and like helping them fight against their own people. So that was pretty good. But that's my number five. That's my number five.
No, I definitely respect it because that was kind of like when the show picked up again for me because the whole last Alicization happened and Kirito went into the coma. So like the whole season, I'm like, what's going on? But when he woke up and started just deleting niggas, logging niggas out, like go back to the lobby, that shit was like,
He control alt delete motherfuckers.
okay. And but then the whole time, like his friends and obviously like the campaigns that they made, they're just fighting. They're fighting over and over again
Yeah,
because to them, they're going to actually die. But
yeah,
everyone else, they're just logging out and then they're just logging right as fuck back in. So
yeah.
nah,
It's waves, bro.
nah.
Oh,
Number five, that's kind of low for it. That was definitely a 300 moment because no
no.
shit, they were fighting
Well,
waves
this is
of
really my
enemies.
number four and my number five are like they fought for that spot
Mm,
because my number four is kind of like the Kirito part,
mm.
but it gets a little bit better. It's a little bit better to me
Okay,
because more happens. So,
okay,
but go
okay,
ahead. What's
okay.
number four? Number four. Number four.
Well, you listed them five, four, three, two, one. I'm just
I'm saying what's that's
naming
four. Like
my
your number
next
five.
one, my second one.
Well, at least get to your first one. Like when we go up, like your number one
No, I
300
got you, I
moment.
got you.
All
I'm
right.
just reordering them in my head. So the second one I'm going to go for, so reincarnated as slime, reincarnated as slime,
Oh,
fucking awesome.
you know what's funny?
Hmm.
I was gonna pick that, but I told you that I knew you. I know who you are, and I didn't put it down.
No,
No.
no. So for this one, there was a small army that was fighting. Obviously, Tempest had been attacked. So
Yep.
prior to this moment, Tempest had been attacked. A lot of people had died. A lot of
Yep.
people were heavily, severely injured,
Yep.
and Rimuru was angry. So he got his top boys. He got his boy. What's the pig's name? I can't remember the pig's name. Gabimaru. I can't remember the pig's name. But out of all
Girl,
these
I
people,
was just watching the last season.
yeah, no, I can't remember his name, but out of all the people he brought Hakurou. So Hakurou is the old guy with the
Yep.
sword. He trains everyone. I'm pretty sure Gabimaru's the goblin. So he trains everyone so that they can be stronger.
Yep.
During the first fight of his during this whole Tempest incident, he fought a guy named Kyoya.
Yeah.
Kyoya actually beat him. The first fight was kind of like that was weird how he won that so easily, but the
Yeah.
second time he saw him again, he told everybody, "Hey, I got this guy." So he let him know that, "Hey, the first time you beat
Like
me,
spin the block.
the first time you beat
Yo.
me, you was using some tricks, but I'm ready
Yeah.
for you this time."
Yeah.
So
Run the fades.
now, mind you, like it, a lot of other battles are happening at the same time, but this battle is
Yeah.
just a 1v1. So it's not a small group versus a large group, but the way he did Kyoya was just completely disrespectful that
Dirty.
he definitely had to end
Dirty.
up on his list. So Kyoya essentially had an extra skill that allowed him to perceive time, action, everything at 300 times the normal speed. So
Yeah.
essentially every second was about 3 hours for him. But in
Yeah.
that moment of him activating this extra skill, he cuts he cuts off his head. So as his head is falling, he's explaining to him that hey, you may have increased how quickly you can perceive things, but you're going to experience every single moment of your death longer than anyone would possibly have because you got way
Disrespectful.
too overconfident.
Oh yeah.
He disrespected, and then he
Mm-hmm.
caught his head midair. He catches his head midair and continues to talk to him while he's just looking at him like, because he's alive. He's in his mind, he's
Oh yeah.
alive. And
Oh yeah.
every second to him, again, it's like 3 hours. So he's just watching him. And as he slowly dies, and he's already dead, but in his mind, he's still alive. That
Yeah.
that was
That's a
a
mind fuck.
that was the
That's a mind
300.
fuck.
And to me, it was like comparing it to the moment when Leonidas, that messenger, has showed up, basically
Yeah.
telling him like this is going to be war. And
Yeah.
usually people are like, okay, don't kill the messenger. We've always heard this saying, don't kill the messenger.
Yeah.
Leonidas said, nah, fuck that. And he kicks old dude
Yeah.
off, and you in slow motion you see him slowly falling down the
Oh yeah.
hole. It's the same thing for him. He's slowly falling, and then he
Just the
catches his head and
disrespect.
like, hey, don't worry, you're gonna live this moment for a very long time.
Oh yeah.
That is.
Yeah. That sets it. All
That
right.
is.
So my next one, which we fought for number 5, is gonna be Fate Zero Gilgamesh versus Ryder's army.
Mm-hmm.
So Fate Zero.
That
So
was one I was gonna choose. I said nope, nope.
yep. So Fate Zero, for those of y'all who aren't aware of what Fate is, brief synopsis. Fate is essentially a show where people fight it out to get a holy grail. Who are these people? These people are summoners, or these people are what do they call them? I forgot the name for them. My apologies to the Fate community because I'm a party y'all. Anyways, these people are summoners and they summon a champion from a time and period to fight on their behalf. So think of it like proxy battles, like proxy all out wars. And you have one side and you have another side. And these companies or organizations use their fighters to fight each other, and whoever wins gets the Holy Grail. You get to make a wish, blah, blah, blah. All right. Rider is Rider. You can think they have each one of these champions has a different name. So you have Lancer, who has a lance, pretty much a long spear. You have Rider, which essentially can ride a chariot, horse. I mean, pretty much anything they ride. They are people who ride animals or
Mm.
machines, whatever. It could be anything. You have Saber, which Saber is you're going to be your main like everybody wants to summon a saber because a saber is like a King Arthur, like a Leonidas, like people who are strong with swords.
Mm.
Actually, Leonidas was a berserker in the last season. Never mind. Leonidas was a berserker, so disregard that. But people who are really good with swords back in the day, you have Archer, which is somebody who's really good with bow and arrows, so on and so forth.
Mm.
Gilgamesh in himself has there, and I'm not about to get into the whole time loop paradox thing with
Okay.
Fate Zero. That'd be a whole episode. But Gilgamesh was a champion or was a summon, but he ended up because Gilgamesh is so strong, he was able to break the summon chain. I'm not going to get into that. Anyways, Gilgamesh is fighting against Ryder of the other faction. Ryder ends up bringing an army to come fight Gilgamesh, and Gilgamesh says, you ever see that clip where the dude, I think it's from, I forgot what movie it was from. I think was it Kingdom of Heaven? I don't think so. Where he takes the flaming sword and he hits the ground with it, and the flames shoot out towards the army. Have you ever seen that clip?
Yeah.
Essentially, what Gilgamesh does. Gilgamesh is like for Frodo, and and he gets on his horse and he goes straight towards the army of Ryder, and he pretty much smacks his sword on the ground, and the giant, like the ground just separates. The ground just separates. All these soldiers and everybody just like just falling in, and then a few of them survive. Gilgamesh kind of has his whoop ass moment because it's Gilgamesh. Like if you know anything about Fate, Gilgamesh is Gilgamesh. Like this nigga has hands. Like he is that guy. He is him essentially. And he starts whooping motherfuckers' asses. Ends up beating Ryder. But it was one of my favorite. Like I always love the scenes where like it's one like the whole army's lined up and one is just like the whole Jon Snow, right? Where Jon Snow is like they're all riding towards him and he pulls his sword out and he's just like, and then he finally gets saved by his own army. So that's like one of my favorite like one against many moments. There's been other times in Fate where like one of the summons will or one of the champions will fight like multiple opponents at the same time, but there was very rare moments where we get to see a summon fight an entire army because usually the mages they only fight each other. Like a saber fights a saber. Sometimes like a lancer will fight like an archer, but most of the time they fight each other's own like class. And then it's just usually 1v1s all the time. It's kind of like ripping Beyblades. You rip your Beyblade and you sit back and you watch them fight. Like that's usually what it's like. But that's definitely my number 4 because I love Fate as a show. And just seeing Gilgamesh just whooping on motherfuckers is probably one of my favorite things to watch. So just like the last show that came out, Master.
No, Gilgamesh seems like every time you see him in any of the Fate series, he's always fighting everybody. He is the main antagonist of the Fate series.
That's my number 4.
He's not a bad dude. He just know he's that guy, so he acts like that guy.
Like,
that's my role, so I'm just playing my position. You stay in your lane, I stay in mine.
Your lane is very small compared to my lane.
Your lane is small compared to mine. You don't understand the way I move because you can't move the way I move.
I'm like a roundabout. Everybody's lane comes in my lane.
That guy.
Every time Gilgamesh is in a scene, you're just like, what you gonna do next? What you gonna do next?
Oh man. Damn. Now you make me like rethink my order. Gilgamesh, this person, they're not gonna compare to Gilgamesh. So if you're like, okay, you're about to come with the heat,
I'm trying to find a statue too.
I'm not gonna be able to come with the heat on this next one. Maybe down the line, but the next one is actually going to be Ahsuka. Ahsuka from Evangelion. So
Evangelion.
Yeah. Evangelion.
Yeah.
I'm not about to sit here and try to explain Evangelion. I'm not even gonna try. So if you're waiting for it, it's not happening. But the scene that I want to specifically highlight, it's actually from the movie. Apparently, up to this point, I hadn't watched the movie. Now I've watched pretty much half the movie because it got my attention. But I had seen scenes of it before, and I was like, where does this come from? So the movie is actually going to be Neon Genesis Evangelion, how do you say it? Movie.
Evangelion.
Yeah, the end of Evangelion. So this is apparently the final movie that wraps up the series a nice little bow. So gotta watch it. If you're a fan of the original anime, I think it came out in like 96. If you want to see it actually end, you gotta watch this movie. Yeah, it's a sign. It's a sign.
It's a sign.
Yes, they be fucking. Like, bro, they be fucking. But so in this part of the movie, we know them as Nerve, and Nerve is being attacked by essentially Japanese special forces, and essentially in the show, in the anime, we saw them defeat the last of the Avas, like the final Ava. So in the movie, the special forces, they're like, okay, they defeated the final Ava. There's no point of them existing anymore. If they're still continuing to exist, then they must be really bad, and they're trying to bring about the second or the third. So they got orders to essentially get rid of them. So they're attacking the Nerve HQ, and they're now having to fight back. In this moment, new Avas show up, but it's like mass
Yeah.
produced Avas. It's like maybe like 20 of them. They just start falling out of the sky, and we see
Yeah.
Ahsuka, the orange hair or the redhead girl. She gets in her mobile suit, and she goes to fight them, and she's wrecking like in the moment, you think she's doing like really good because she looks really good. She's like killing them
Hmm.
left to right. They're not really
Yeah.
giving
Yeah.
her any troubles. But then you kind of find out, like after the fight, that they were kind of just messing around with her. But she
Yeah.
looked really good. So in this moment, it was Asuka versus the mass-produced Avas. She's wrecking them left and right, left and right. And we're like, hey, maybe because she had just got done dealing with the special forces. They showed up with their tanks and everything, the troops,
Yeah.
and she wrecked them. So we're like, okay, she's good. Now the Ava showed up. She's now wrecking them, and she's gone into berserk mode because
Yeah.
she's losing her mind now. Like in this show, if you've watched even maybe 3 episodes, you know these children are losing their minds. And in that moment, she's losing her mind. She's fighting, she's fighting, she's fighting, and then it ends when they get serious and they essentially throw a spear and kills her. She dies. So if you saw it, you're like, what happened there? She did die in this moment. They threw a spear. It went right through her head. That's where her body is, and you like see her body like sitting there, like hanging above the ground, and the spear is through her helmet in the ground. So like I saw this clip so many times on like on TikTok, and I'm like, oh my god, where did this come from? So when I was thinking of this moment, I'm like, okay, one against many. I need a good clip that Maui would never
Hmm.
use. So I had to go back.
Right. I haven't watched
There's no
Evangelion in a
way you're going to pull
long
this one
time.
out. So
A long time.
hey, Asuka, shout out to you. She did come back in the end. Spoiler alert, this is an old movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. But spoiler alert, she does come back in the end. He does make a decision that brings back many of the people who did die in the show, in the movie. So
Nice. Nice. Okay. I think you'll like this next one.
okay,
Little call out. All right. So my
call out.
next one is gonna be Guts versus 100 soldiers in the woods in Berserk.
Another one I did
Oh
avoid.
man.
Wow.
Oh, I
Okay.
know. I know. Oh man. This show. So again, Berserk, for a lot of you who aren't aware, um, is a very uh, viewer discretion is advised. All right.
Signing.
Yeah, it's a sign, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyways, so Guts is our main character. Guts is essentially a swordsman or a mercenary who ends up joining a gang or a crew or a posse, whatever you want to call them. And he he just want vibe. Honestly, he just wants the vibe. He just fights people. That's just what he likes to do. We end up. There's stuff further down the road. Well, his little girlfriend at the time, and yeah, yeah. Anyways,
Did not say
uh,
that.
and him disrespectful. Him and his little girlfriend are trying to escape. I believe it's the king's soldiers. The king of the other kingdom is sending soldiers out to kill them, and they keep getting fucked up. Like one arrows are flying at them. Like they're running through these woods. Like they're just escaping, escaping, escaping. Guts is cutting motherfuckers down left and right, left and right, left and right. His girlfriend, to be example, she ends up getting hurt, and he's like, "Leave me here," and she's like, "No, I'm not gonna leave you here. Like I love you, blah blah. Same old shit. Like bitch, get out of here, right?" And he's just like, "Go. I will handle them. Just go. Take off," because she was hurt like really bad. This man has that giant gut sword, y'all already know,
Mm.
and all them soldiers just start surrounded him. And it gives me Dark Lord Vader the book vibes.
Mm.
When Darth Vader is standing around those thousands of rebel troopers, and they're just like, "Give up, Vader, you're surrounded." And he's like, "The only thing I'm surrounded by is fear and dead men." Like when I read that, I was like,
What?
"Excuse me?"
Who's
And
that?
Vader proceeds to slaughter every single one of them.
Oh
He
shit!
comes out with like scratches. His helmet's fucked up, but he literally
I never knew
slaughters.
about
Yeah,
that.
that's canonical Vader. Disney has fucked Vader.
Mm.
Anyways, um, but it gives me that moment. Sketch is just like it's like Captain America. Anybody want to get out before we get started? Like he just like they start swarming him. There's like, and
Oh
it
man.
starts. It's so great because it starts off as 1v1s. Like they surround him, and then like a big dude comes out. He's like, "I fucking got this." Guts like, shing, fuck, cuts that motherfucker in half. And the next dude's like, "Man, we got this." He comes out, shing, cuts that motherfucker down. And then the general is in the back, and he's like, "Come on, it's just one guy. Kill him, kill him. It's just one guy." And then another dude comes out, cuts his ass down. Then two come out, cuts them both down. Then 3 come out, and
Just
then
ship them.
they're just like, everybody
Just
go,
go.
everybody just go, and they all just start swarming, and Guts just goes fucking crazy, just
Mm,
bodying niggas. He would get shot with an arrow, and he'd be like, ah, break that shit off, and just start slaughter. He'd get cut in the leg, he'd be like, ah, and then he fucking,
berserker.
it's
He's literally a
literally a
berserker.
berserk, and they come and find him when they come back, when they went to go get help to come back to find him. This man is literally surrounded by bodies, and he's leaned up against a tree with his sword in the ground, leaned up against him, and he's just like, or no, he's like this, like head down, and they're just like, he's dead. They see all the stab wounds, all
Mm,
the arrows, everything in his body, and she's like, he's dead, he's dead, and he's like, bitch, I ain't dead.
mm.
Huh?
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
what you say? I was taking a nap. My bad. Like, and they're just like, oh my god, and then like that's probably my favorite scene in all of the Berserk anime. And of course, I watched the movies first. I didn't actually watch the anime first, but like because it was in the movie, and I was like, oh,
That was a
oh,
nice scene
oh,
that you chosen from Berserk anime movies. I appreciate that.
oh man, that was like Smuff was like ah,
Mm,
ah, like it was the like fight to the death scene, and he didn't die.
mm. I like
Like,
the older Berserker. I really
yeah,
like the
the
older one.
anime.
Yeah, the anime, the older one.
I still,
I love
yo,
that
as
one.
much as I love it and I have a statue and I got the books, like I haven't finished the anime. I need to start it over. Like I
Mm,
need to, yeah, I haven't watched, like I watched because there's so much more. So for those of y'all who don't know, and I know this, I haven't watched the whole show yet, but like I know from just Berserk lore, like the movies don't depict the show at all. Like it shows his path and him traveling. It shows his fairy creature. It shows
mm,
like all the little things it gives the Berserk armor. Like there's all those things in the show that people just don't know because they Netflix, I believe Netflix revived Berserk because
mm.
Netflix was the one that dropped those 3 movies like random. It was so random. Like Netflix just randomly dropped 3 Berserk movies, and even for me, I didn't really know what Berserk was either. And I was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I
Hmm.
was like, "Oh, that nigga's massive, and he got a
I
giant
thought
sword."
what was out there was what it
Oh,
was. You know, I was
oh,
also before like light novels and stuff too. So
yeah. But I was like, I'm in, and I watched all the movies, and I think you were the one that told me. You were like, it was like years ago. You were like, "Yeah, the Berserk movies are good. Have you watched the anime?" And I was like, excuse me, and you were just like, yeah, it's
this
an
is anime.
anime, and I was like, I knew it was a manga, but I figured they just made movies. Like I didn't know they actually made a show.
Hmm.
So I need to actually watch the show. I'm probably gonna start it over soon because
Okay.
I've been in the mood for a sign-in ever since Terminator Zero. I've been in the mood for an old school anime. So
I mean, after a couple of these reviews, I'm in the mood for a couple of shows that I've been looking at. So
yeah,
I might
hey,
need to rewatch it.
yeah.
Evangelion. Evangelion.
I'm probably gonna have to watch that shit again too. To be honest, I don't remember shit about that show. To be
Oh
honest with you,
shit! But no, Berserker.
oh, it's been
That's a
30
solid.
years.
That's a solid pick. That's a solid pick. Ooh, wait. So we did that one. I think this one might be a good. This might be a good match for your Berserker one. So this one
Really?
is kind of like a. He's a Berserker as well, but he's a
Okay.
low key Berserker. So I
Okay.
was afraid to choose this one because I know this is one of the shows you do like, and I'm like,
Okay.
if you did choose a fight from the show, it wouldn't be this one.
I
I actually
feel like I
chose a
know what
different
show
one.
this is. I feel like I
So
know.
I,
Can I guess?
that'd be
Can I
scary.
guess?
Go ahead.
Vinland Saga.
God damn it! How did you know it was Vinland Saga?
I knew it. I knew it, bro.
So
I
the
knew it.
person that I chose was
In my
Thors.
mind, in my mind, so in my mind, when I was picking my 5, that's fucking great. I told you I knew you. Don't ever fucking doubt me again. So in my mind, I was
Uh,
choosing either Thorfinn or I was gonna choose Thors.
mm,
And I was just like, this would be a show that would be a wild card for him. Like when I was
mm,
thinking about it, I was like, it'd be a wild card. He'd be like, he might pick this, but he's probably thinking of like bigger stuff instead. Like this is what I was thinking you were thinking.
mm.
Like oh, he might pick
That
this,
is
but
what
like
I was thinking. I was
he
like, if
might
he
not.
does, he's going to choose Thorfinn because
Yeah.
Thorfinn does
But
go off a lot.
yeah, if he probably won't choose this show because he's probably thinking of bigger. He's gonna give like underrated ones or bigger shows.
Hmm.
So I was like, I'm gonna just leave Vinland Saga because I already had a good 5 anyways.
Okay,
So I was
good.
like, let me leave Vinland Saga.
All
I
right, so I'm
fucking
safe.
told you,
I'm safe. I'm
don't you
safe.
ever doubt me again. You owe me dinner.
Oh man, I need to. This also is one of those shows I need to. I want to rewatch it, Vinland Saga. I want to because I haven't watched season 2. Like
I
I
never finished
know
the
about
last
the
season.
like I know
Farming
about what
Simulator.
happens. I just haven't watched it. So I'm gonna rewatch season
Same.
1 and go and then follow it up with season 2. But the fight I did choose from Vinland Saga
Was
is
it
going to be the
the
Thors versus the Pirates fight.
Oh, okay. I thought it was okay. Yeah. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, I mean this one
Yeah.
we got to give
That's
credit to it. So just quick, what's going on in this moment? This is in the beginning of the show. I'm thinking this is like episode 3. So we kind of understand
yeah.
who Thors is. He's the father of the
Yeah.
main character Thorfinn.
Yep.
And Thors is still a kid at this point. So if
Yeah.
you know the show Vinland Saga, you know that Thors does end up dying. This is the
Yes.
fight that he does die.
That's a
So
that's a moment. That's a
yeah, it's
moment.
a crazy moment.
That's Boromir in the woods with the
And it
Urukai
reminded me of the moment. I'm
type
like,
shit.
wait, why is this moment like not imprinted in my memory? Like I remember the fight, but I was like I only went to this fight as a second, not a
Yeah.
first. It should have been my
Yeah.
first. So in this moment, I'm pretty sure they had received a summons to the
Mhm.
battlefield. Thors
Yeah.
had been trying not to go to battle. He wanted to live the farming
Yeah.
simulator life. He wanted to live a farming
Yeah.
simulator life. He wanted to get
Yeah.
away from the battlefield, but he received a summons that he could not refuse. So he said, "All right, I'm going to answer the summons." So he tells like the secrets to his guys, but don't tell the village. So in the
Yeah.
village's eyes, they're young men and older men that are going to war. But
Yeah.
reality, his plan was to drop his young men off at another village and then go somewhere else to pick up more men so that they can answer the summons with more seasoned fighters so that the
Different
young
guy,
people don't
different
die.
people. Yeah. Yeah.
Plot twist. Thorfinn decided he wanted to fucking sneak onto the ship in one of the barrels, so he's also on this ship boat on the
He
way to
wanted to
this
fight.
the village. Luckily, in Thor's mind, it's okay. I'm dropping everybody off. We're safe. On literally meters, hundreds of meters from where they were going, they're going through this little mountain ravine, and like his second in command is like, "This feels weird from the last time I was here." He's like,
Hmm.
"What's weird was going on?" And he's looking around. He's like, "This looks like a danger area. You know, this is a
Yeah.
danger area. I don't
It's
like
an
this."
ambush. This an ambush.
So he gives the order like, "Turn around." Well, the
Hmm.
enemy sees that he decides to turn around, so they decide to ambush him. Him and his currently still, because he didn't have a chance to drop them off, all the young men, him, his second in command, and maybe a couple of older veterans, they're now being ambushed by these guys. But luckily for them, Thors is that guy. He is guts. He's the main character of the show. If he didn't die, like if he didn't
Yeah.
die,
Oh yeah.
he would have been the main character of the show.
Oh yeah.
He proceeds to beat everyone asses. One dude literally like eats mushroom, like a berserker mushroom, to
Hmm.
go berserker to fight him, and the next scene after it, you see him flying into the water. Like he didn't even show the ass whooping. He just has bruises all over his face. So like the enemy like commander has to make a decision. Like, okay, this dude just beat all of my troops. Well, most of my troops, and he tells them like, "Hey, I beat half your troops. What are you gonna do now? You're gonna lose more guys just to get a couple of slaves? Because at this point we think they're pirates."
Yeah.
But so you gonna do all this just for a couple of slaves, or you're gonna either leave, or let's just give me a 1v1. If I win,
Yeah.
you leave. You win, you do whatever you want. Because
That's a
you
hit
know
of
I'm
lick.
that guy. I'm not gonna lose
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So they fight 1v1. The worst wins. But this was an assassination attempt. The
Oh yeah.
kingdom or the Viking king, Voms king, something like that,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
summoned Thors in the first place, had
Wanted him killed.
he wanted him
Yeah.
to die. He didn't truly, because he felt betrayed by him. Because one, he's a warrior of legend. People know of his escapades, and two, you took this greatness and left to start a
Yeah.
family. Fuck you. I'm pretty sure
Well,
this happened in the show Vikings too.
he also thought that Thors was making his own kingdom.
Yeah.
And because he was more popular than him, because the soldiers liked him more,
Hmm.
he didn't want that competition around.
I think I watched this also when I watched Vikings. I was still in the military at the time, so
It's kind of like,
it
yeah,
was
it's kind of
like
like
it was like
Vikings, a little
this
bit.
is anime Vikings. I like this shit.
Yeah.
So back to the engagement, he wins his 1v1, but at this point he realizes I'm not getting out of this alive. So he's like, "Yo, I won, so you gotta let them
Okay.
go."
Yeah,
And because he realizes they're here to kill me. Everything about the situation was weird. So
yeah,
he has his archers shoot the arrow, stabs them all up. Thorfinn, he saw upset, he's dead, but he does fulfill his promise to let everyone else go.
He
Thus,
dies on his feet. He
dies on
don't
his
even
feet.
fall.
Another anime dying on his feet moment, just like Edward Newgate.
Yeah.
So,
Dude.
thus beginning the Vinland Saga. So, this is one of the reasons I even
Oh
love the
yeah.
show to begin with. So,
Oh yeah.
300 moment right there.
Noise. Um, I had to put this one in here, and I know
Mm,
you know that I put it in here, but this is my number two because I didn't want to be cheesy and put it
I
as my
got
number
you.
one.
I
But
got you.
my number one is pretty good in itself. I have to mention Madara versus the Shinobi
I know.
Alliance.
I know.
I have to. I
Go
have
ahead.
to. I have to. Even though he's the bad guy, well, I mean, he was kind of right.
Was he?
But anyways, he was kind of right. We had that whole talk a long
Mm.
time ago. We should rehash that. Villains that we thought were right. Anyways, um, Madara versus Shinobi Alliance. If you don't know about it, it's Naruto. Go watch the show. You should know it. I mean, it's on every anime AMV that's on damn YouTube.
Mm.
Um, Madara is the bad guy, and the Shinobi Alliance is all the villages come together to fight the next or the fourth
Fourth.
great Shinobi War. I think it's
Mm.
the fourth. Yeah, the fourth great Shinobi War, and they're going up against Madara and his little gang, and it's thousands and thousands of them. And we get that beautiful moment where Madara is just up there on the rock like this. All right, and they're all just like, "What are we? It's Madara Uchiha," and they start vomiting and shit. And then Madara's like, "All right," and he hops down, and they're just like, and I think I forgot what his name is. The dude, he was the former he was the former Tsuchikage, the one that uses the particle jutsus. He was
Mm.
the former Tsuchikage who was Edo Tensei or reincarnated by Kabuto, was standing up there and he was like, "Do you want help? You want to do this together?" And he was like, "Nah, I need a warm up." Like I said, when I first watched this, David, I don't think you understand. I went,
He had to
you
set him
said what?"
straight.
I said, "You said what?" And
Come
this man
on.
hops down. This man hops down. Hey, credit to the first dude though in the Shinobi Alliance. This man Madara hops down and he just starts walking, running, walking faster, running, starts running towards like the thousands of Shinobi,
Mm.
and then you get them going like screaming out of fear. There's like ah, and they all start charging him. But shout out when you watch the scene, there's one little dude that's out in front of everybody.
Mm.
Shout out to that random ninja. He dead, but shout out to him. Shout out
No,
to that
no.
ninja.
Meme. Someone said that he's not dead. That ninja is actually the ninja. Remember, so I know you have seen the show. We will not mention. You've seen a few clips of it. The kid of the show, we're like, who's this kid? They say that I think it's just a babe. They say that he's the son of that first ninja who got mollywopped by Madara in the Great Ninja War. They say that he's his son, and reason why he's so rich today is because he survived that engagement. He was that guy, so he's so famous
Okay.
because of it.
Nah, he did. Um, moving on. Then we get to just the masterful scene of Madara just going into the crowd, and you just like you see the dust shinobi flying. There's like we get him like somebody throwing. He's like boxing niggas up. They throw a kunai. He catches the kunai with the bomb on it, takes the paper bomb off, slaps it on somebody else's back. Just
Mm-hmm.
and then you get just the like most beautiful use of Sharingan you've ever seen, like actually witnessing it, where he like gets down and he does the like left right shit with his eyes, like just scanning the battlefield and just starts bodying every single shinobi on that field. And then of course, because of plot, we get the main characters coming in, Naruto, Gara, Tamari, like the main ninjas are showing up and they're actually pushing him back. So that's when we get him pushed back. But like
Mm.
we just get a few good minutes of just straight ass whoopings. Just straight ass whoopings. They didn't touch him. Like he literally stabbed a dude in the face with a kunai, put 2 feet on his chest, jumped off, and punched somebody in the mouth. Like,
He was
excuse me?
snatching bombs out of the air and
He
placing
was
them
snatching
on
paper
people.
bombs. He was just putting them on somebody behind him. Like somebody, I think they did a frame by frame of the dude he kicked from behind. It was the funniest frame by frame I've ever seen.
Hmm.
He's like fighting frame by frame. This dude is running up with him like Michael Myers with a kunai. He's like, ow, and he's running up and he like jumps up in the air, spreads his leg, does that split kick, kicks the motherfucker, and dude's like, don't. He just goes like flying.
Bro, not to beat the horse, but I'm sure the animators, the people on the animation team, for that episode, they were having a ball.
They were having
This has to be
time
the
of their life.
most fun
They were
ever
drunk when
in
they made
any
that episode.
choreography they've ever done. Like, and Naruto has some amazing choreography.
Oh
This
yeah,
had to be the
they were
best time.
drunk.
They were drinking, partying, music was playing.
There
Like,
was two
yo,
times.
put that. Like,
There's two times in Naruto I think the animators were drinking. The Naruto versus Pain,
uh, no,
drinking.
they were drunk.
They were
This is
they
after
were
this is
they
after
were,
the party. They were
they were
drunk
drunk.
when they made that
Great.
scene.
It was great, but they were just like, yo, make his face look weird. Anyways,
Why?
and then Madara versus Shinobi Alliance, they was just like, yo, put the paper bomb on that other nigga's back. You mean that one right there? Yeah, draw that in. That nigga did.
Those were not in
Next,
the panels.
like
There's no way all that was in the panels. I need to read those panels.
I got it. I got the fight back here.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I'm pretty
gonna
sure I got
look.
the fight. I need to read those panels though.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna go back after this. I'm gonna go like flip through the panels and see how much of that ass whooping was in the book. Because
How
if it
much did
wasn't,
Kishimoto
there was
actually put?
it was drinking. But the problem, I mean, the thing is Naruto is a lot bloodier and darker than the actual show is. And Naruto's still dark, but it's darker. So, but that's it's number two just because like
I mean,
I feel like everybody knew I was probably gonna put that at one. But my next one's pretty good.
we
My next
can't
one's
we
pretty
can't
good.
avoid it. We can't avoid it.
Give
I
me
got
give
you. I
me
got
give
you.
me your number one.
My
What's your final one?
numero uno. Okay, so number one is actually going to be from a show you haven't watched yet, and I'm going to put it at number one because I want you to watch the show.
Really?
I want you to watch the show.
Can I guess this one too?
No, because you already know what the number one is already.
That's true.
You cheater. No, it's Tanya the Evil. You already know it's Tanya the Evil because
Yeah,
I
you
was
told me
about
that
to start
earlier.
telling you my shows, and this was the first one I told you.
Yeah,
So Tanya the Evil. So quick backstory to Tanya the Evil. This isn't a isekai. A lot of people who maybe
mm-hmm.
seen some scenes from it, who've heard of it, who haven't watched it, may not know this, but this isn't a isekai. It is about a regular middle-aged salaryman worker. He's like a manager. So
Mm-hmm.
the show itself, he was a manager. He was a salaryman. Well, he had just fired one of his guys because
Okay.
whatever reason, and the guy was upset with him. So at the
Mm-hmm.
train station after work, that guy
Took him to the train
pushes
station.
him off the platform, and he's about to get hit by the train.
The manager work. Yeah, yeah.
Freeze
Okay.
frame. At this moment, the god of this universe speaks to him. Like he's like
Mm-hmm.
hanging in midair, about to get hit by the train, and he speaks to him using like you've seen this in foreign movies where like the people around him are speak. God is speaking through them, so they're all like turning their
Yeah,
heads and talking to him.
yeah. Like in
God's
you, like
voice.
a hive mind type shit.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. So
yeah.
in this moment, but it's crazy because at this is happening. He's like, I am God. I can save you. Just accept that I am God. Tell me that I am God. And he's like, I don't care if you're able to freeze time. I don't care if you're able to talk through all these people. You're not God.
Your Lord and
I
Savior
don't
Jesus Christ
accept
is my
you
only God.
as God. So in the God's mind, he's like, you know what? I need to send you. I'm going to reincarnate you, but I'm going to reincarnate you in a time and place where you're going to grow to accept me and love me. So he reincarnates him. He dies, obviously. But he reincarnates to War fucking War. He reincarnates to the War, bro. And I'm like, what the hell is going on? Yes, yes, yes. So and then he's on the German side. He's
Love
on the
that.
German side.
I love that. I love
He's
that for
part of
him.
that. So just the backstory of the show. The scene that
So
I
is it
want to
World War
highlight.
One or World War Two?
This is World War One. I'm pretty sure.
Because the
They don't
United
recognize countries, so
they
they
just
don't say
recognize
the actual
enemies.
country. They just
They just,
say the Republic of the same thing that they did in
oh, is it like a
Lelouch the
steampunk?
Rebellion. Now in the show, just like Lelouch the Rebellion, they don't like say the British. They'll say Britannia or the
Yeah,
Republic of Britannia, shit like that.
yeah.
Same thing in this show, but you can pretty much
Okay.
figure out that she's fighting the French, and I can't remember the other one that's referenced, but one of them is at least the French. So it could be
Okay.
World War One, it could be World War Two. Not sure. But anywho,
Got it.
so
Yeah.
the fight that I want to highlight, she in the show, not to like really get into the world, magic exists, but they're not using magic to fight wars. in the wars they're still using the
It's like
regular.
Geneva Convention type shit.
Yeah,
Like,
they're still using. No, it's not like that. Like they have magic, but it's not like they're shooting magic, fire, water,
mhm.
ice, and stuff like that. They can just use magic to energize themselves and use magic to energize machines. So still the same time frame in which they're using steam engines, things such as that.
Yeah.
They're not technology more advanced, and they're not a world where they're relying only on magic. It's still the same world. They still have the same type of weapons that they're shooting with,
Okay.
but she has found a way before. Remember, I did say it was a salaried man. When he's
Yeah.
reincarnated, it's now a girl. It's Tanya the Evil. She has found a way to use her magic to power the weapons that the inventions that the Germans are coming up with, to power
Okay.
them to make them even more powerful, so she could do things such as flying using her magic with this technology. And as the show goes on, you see that they start to become more and more advanced because they're starting to use their magic more and more with their type of weaponry, with the type of
Okay.
technology that they do have.
I need to watch. I need to watch that. Okay.
Towards the end of the season, though, there is a battle between Tanya. This is now towards the end of the war. She's now just checking on forces. She is a commander. She at one point she used to train forces because even though she's a child, she has the most magical output. She's very intelligent. Obviously, she was a Sekai. She's well beyond her years. So
Yeah.
at this point, she's leading troops, and they're ambushed. They're ambushed by the mages of the opposing forces. So usually Tanya, she's able to quickly dispatch the enemy forces, but their ambush she didn't realize, and they're now using new technology because you up it, I'm gonna up it. You up it, I'm gonna up it. That's what they've
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
doing all war. So now her guys are being killed left and right all around her, and she's trying to defend, get out of the way because they're shooting at her while she's trying to
Mhm.
save her guys. At one point she now, after fighting the bulk of the enemy and having to deal with them, she now has to fight the enemy commander.
Yeah.
And the enemy commander essentially, he's not as powerful as Tanya, but with the technology he's able to outmaneuver her, out overpower her. But with the help of essentially someone else that was with her, small army fighting a much greater force, she's able to overpower him, thus defeating him overall and helping end the war. Reason why I want to bring it up: one, I want you to watch the show.
I'll watch it.
It's
I'll
gonna
watch
be
it
my number
tonight.
one.
I'll
Two,
watch it tonight.
two, they're a small force. Even though
Yeah.
Tanya, just like Leonidas, she's the best. She's the best of the best. She leads her forces. She trains
Yeah.
her forces, and nobody. Whenever she's just like Kakashi. You see Kakashi out there, you run the opposite way because she's going to kill your whole forces. They had to come up with a much larger force just to take her out, and
Yeah.
even in the end, she still manages
She's
to
still whooping
survive.
ass.
So
Nice.
Tanya the
Yeah.
Evil.
I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch it tonight. I got to. I've been holding off on that show for too long,
Okay.
but I've been like blue balling myself for this season right now, so I can binge the last few seasons before we do our wrap up.
Mm.
So I'm gonna have a lot of catching up to do, but I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna watch Tanya the
Bro,
Evil.
I'm with
All
you.
right.
I've been watching Batman Beyond. I've been binging Batman Beyond for like the past 2 weeks.
Okay. Good. Well, that's good. That's
Terry
good.
McGinnis is
No,
nothing
we gotta
on
have a break
Bruce
every once in
Wayne.
a while. Sorry, guys. We don't get paid for this. All right. So we gotta have a break every once in a while.
I need to watch other
Um,
things.
my number one to wrap this all up.
Mm-hmm.
My number one is gonna be Mikazuki and Akihiro versus Gjallarhorn, Iron Blood Orphans, Gundam Iron Blood Orphans. So to to put this in a shiny bow,
Mm.
Mikazuki and Akihiro die. Mikazuki is the pilot for Barbatos, Barbatos Lupus Rex, Barbatos Rex, whatever you want to call him, the Barbatos, the Gundam. Mikazuki is that nigga. He is that. What do you want me to do next, Orga? That's all he says. Akihiro is like the second that nigga. He's like right close behind Mikazuki. His goal is just to fight as good as Mikazuki. Now to kind of get down into what is happening at the end of the show. Gallarhorn is a giant organization full of rich white folks who have their own Gundams, and they're trying to recreate it, but they are essentially, think about like One Piece. They're the world government,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're the world government. They're trying to shut people down, and Mikazuki, Orga, and all of them that are in Tekkaden are coming down to their final fight. Gallarhorn hasn't been able to touch Tekkaden until the end because they were being kind of protected by their subsidiaries, by the people they work for. They were being, excuse me, protected by a lot of people. Well, at the end, this is also the same episode where Orga dies. Orga pulls up. They're leaving the little office,
I
and
didn't even
then
reminder of that.
niggas spin the block, and there's like, and
Disrespect.
Orga blocks the little girl or the what's his name, the little boy, and like ends up getting shot in the back.
Mm-hmm.
Mikazuki ends up finding out about it. Galahorn is coming to Mars, their home planet where their base is, to either kill, which mostly kill, but seize the Gundams that they are in possession of. Because Gundams in this point in the universe are illegal. They're not able to use those. But because Tekkanen is a subsidy of uh, I forgot the name. They're a subsidiary of a bigger, excuse me, a bigger like gang organization, if that makes sense.
Mm.
So they're finally coming to Mars after they've killed Orga. They're like, we're just gonna take Tekkanen off the map. Mikazuki sees Galahorn ships entering orbit, and Mikazuki's like pissed. Like Orga, Orga is like his best friend, like his like the best of friends. And Mikazuki is a murderer. And like let's down to brass tacks. He's a murderer.
Mm.
Um, he's already like limp in his legs, he's limp in his left arm, like he's paralyzed essentially. All he can do, he can only move when he's inside his Gundam. He sees Galahorn ships coming down, and in order to one, go berserk because he's mad that they killed Orga, and two, to get people to escape off the planet, off of Mars, and like leave, Mikazuki's like, I'm going out there, I'm gonna hold them off as long as I can. And they're like, Mikazuki, don't, you can come with us, blah blah blah. And he's like, shut up, I'm going out there. I'm good. They're gonna die. Like I
Mm.
don't care. And they literally drop all of their mobile suits because they don't have Gundams. Now the leader of Gjallarhorn does have a Gundam, but everybody else, the regular soldiers, are just in regular mobile suits that aren't as powerful as Gundams, but you get 100 of them on the battlefield, they're gonna do some damage. And Akihiro's like, if Mikazuki's going, I'm going to. And there's like, no, Akihiro, like, blah, blah. Mikazuki's like, I don't need you. And he's like, I don't care if you need me. I'm fighting because I want to fight. I'm not fighting for you. And
Mm.
Mikazuki's like, all right, bet. Akihiro also has a Gundam. He gets in his Gundam. Mikazuki gets in his Gundam. And they go out to the battlefield to meet the opposing army that's literally an army out there of like hundreds and hundreds of mobile suits that are coming after them. And they start beating their ass. Just start whooping mobile suits left and right, like whooping them. Mikazuki's tearing limbs off, blowing fades, like Akihiro's tearing them apart. But at the end of the day, it's a fight to the death. Like Mikazuki gets one of his Gundam arms ripped off, Akihiro gets his leg ripped off. They get holes in their suits, like, and they fight literally to the death, just
Mm.
to allow the other members of Tekkaden and the families and the kids and all the people that are there on the farm, because this isn't just like their base of operations where they like like they sell drugs and guns and shit. Like
Yeah, this
these are
is this home.
there's families here. This is their house, so they have their kids there. Old girl is pregnant. The I forgot his girl, Mikazuki's girlfriend, the like short haired chick, like
Mm.
she's pregnant. Like they got people here, like their whole family. So to get them off, Akihiro and Mikazuki to go out and there just fight to the death. Like they are bodying motherfuckers. And then of course the leader of Galahorn like comes in at the last moment with his like little guard around him, to kill Mikazuki. Because Mikazuki the entire show has been that nigga. Like
Mm.
he's been fucking people up since he's been A1 since day
Yeah, he's
one. You know what
main
I'm saying?
character energy the whole show.
When he got Barbatos, nobody could stop him. He's like the Yellow Flash, like Kakashi. Like you see Mikazuki on the battlefield, like you run, like you run. They learned that the hard way because they kept sending motherfuckers like wave after wave, and he kept sending them back in body bags.
Hey,
Like
his 300
like
moments the whole show. Honestly.
like honestly, but like because they had to like. I feel like we came up with we were gonna do an episode about characters that needed to be jumped. Like or like I think no, actually I was gonna make that a question of the week, but we
Mm.
might make that a question of the week like next week. But the question was like, what characters of anime had to be jumped? Like you have to jump him, and Mikazuki is one of those characters. Like you
Definitely.
have to jump him. You cannot fight him 1v1. And so they tried to jump him, and they jumped hundreds and hundreds more. He got overwhelmed. Like
Mm.
at the end of the day, he got overwhelmed, and he put out the output. One of the biggest problems, or one of his biggest nerfs, was Mikazuki had the surgery to allow the Leia Vignana system that's inside there. Like, think of it like the little matrix plug in the back of
Yeah.
his head. He had that surgery like 6 times, like just to make his output better, and that's why he could match with the Barbatos well. But because he was still not like aligned with it, or he still just wasn't strong enough himself. And it just, the power of the Lei of Vijnana now versus back then when they used them is just so different and weaker than it used to be.
Mhm.
Mikazuki was never using Barbatos's full strength. Like never. He pushed the limits every once in a while. He goes 70%, 60%, 80%. Like he pushed the limits and he started bleeding. That's why his arms started going
Mhm.
limp and his legs. But in this fight, he said, "I'm dying anyways." 100%. Like he pushed and he started bleeding. Like I remember this. I remember the scene perfectly. His eyes just bloodshot, blood dripping from his eyes, his nose, his ears. Like, and he's just like and he's just like going to work. Even Akihiro pushes his Gundam 100%, and they're just bleeding, internally bleeding in their Gundams, just fighting to the death. And that
Mhm.
is like the top, like, I'm talking about sit up moments. I was like, I was a sit back and I was like, fuck. If
Mhm.
Orga's dead, I know Mikazuki going with him. Like Mikazuki ain't gonna leave without him. Like he would not be able to be alive if Orga
Yeah,
was dead.
there's no more to the story after Orga died.
Yeah,
So
they are like one side of the same coin. Like if
mhm.
Orga dies, I'm dying too. And like if Gjallarhorn wouldn't have showed up, Mikazuki would 100% took his Barbatos to their fucking main base and just started fucking shit up and been like, kill me, hurry up, like
Mhm.
hurry up and like send out your strongest warrior, like
He went
send them out,
berserker. Hey, we
like
just need to change the whole episode to berserker moments in anime
yeah,
because he went berserk. He
yeah,
went berserk for a whole episode. I loved it.
yeah. That's my number one. That's probably one of the best fights. That's the one of the best fight in the
Mm.
show, honestly. So, but yeah, that's good. That's
I'm
good.
just
I like
happy
that.
that I'm 4 for 5. I guess 4 out of 5 of the fights that you were going to choose. Only fight I did not guess is Guts fight. That's the only fight I didn't guess that
Really,
you were going to bring up.
you guessed the Gundam one.
Hmm.
Oh,
Definitely,
okay.
definitely. Oh, I was going to
The
use it. I was like, nah,
problem.
he's definitely going to
So
use this.
So my problem, my well, at first, my problem was gonna be which one, because Mikazuki constantly getting
I mean,
jumped,
yeah,
like
of course.
constantly. But I'm like, well, what's best then? Leonidas literally fought to the death. What's best
That's how
than
I knew you were going
him
to choose that one because he
fighting
fought
to
to
the
the death.
death? Like he fought to the death. Like that's,
Mm.
I mean, you could have been like the Biscuit one because they went buck wild when Biscuit died. Like
Okay,
they
I
went
definitely didn't need you to bring up Biscuit dying.
buck
That Biscuit didn't
wild.
need to die. Fuck
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Fuck them niggas. Like, but
R.I.P.
they
Biscuit.
won't. Yeah, when Biscuit died, they went buck wild.
Mm.
And so I was like, that's a moment. But him and Akihiro like banging it out in the last moments was probably like
Facts.
was the best scene in that whole show. So I didn't
Facts.
rewatch Gundam. I've seen that show like 30
I'm
fucking
telling you,
times.
every time I do these clips, every time I relook at things, I'm like, I gotta watch
Okay,
this. It was
I
too
know.
fire. Way too
It's
fire.
only 24 episodes, bro. It's quick. It's a little quick, a little something, something. You know what
I
I'm
need to rewatch everything on this list. That's at least 125 episodes now.
saying?
Shit.
Shit. I mean, you gonna rewatch Naruto for the Madara?
For the
All right.
fifth time?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. I guess I'll do
Fifth,
it again. I've watched
get your
One Piece
fucking
3 times. I'll watch
get your numbers
Naruto.
up. Fifth time. That's
Hey, I
rookie
watched One Piece
numbers.
3 times. Leave me alone.
I think when I first introduced my wife to Naruto, that was probably, I think that was like my, so, well, realistically, my seventh time watching just Naruto,
Mm,
and like my fourth or fifth time just watching Shippuden. Because again, remember I told you a long time ago, like I didn't know Shippuden existed for years,
mm.
and so I rewatched Naruto a bunch of times. But so when we rewatched it together, and when she was first introduced to it, that was like my seventh time watching Naruto, but like my fourth or fifth watching Shippuden.
I
So
watched it once the first time, obviously. The second, and that ended in 2017. The second time, I just watched it again because I wanted to watch it again. Third time, I rewatched it again with Fiordi. So that was. I haven't rewatched it since because I'm like, you know about it too, so we just bounce
I
information off of each other at this
look,
point.
I got a mortgage and kids. I'm not rewatching One Piece. One go through and that's
Three
it.
times. I mean, you can do it in one
That's
year.
it.
3 times. That's nothing.
All right, well, that wraps it up for our episode today, everybody. Our 300 like style fights in anime. We really appreciate those of y'all who have been subscribing to us, leaving comments
Thank you.
down below. We really appreciate it. Any chance we get to go forward, any progression we get is something that we really appreciate. And it's not a big 3,000 3,000 subs video, but we're trying to like we're trying to appreciate you guys. So the one person that hit us at 300, the one person that put us to 301, like y'all are the ones that are keeping this alive. Our love for anime and y'all. So we really appreciate you guys for doing that. Share the videos, share the channel with your friends. Just help spread us around so we can continue making this content, so we can get some of the best news and some of the best moments in anime and reviews out to you guys. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
Peace.